Good evening. Thank you so much for being here on behalf of the King Alfred Classical School and the King Alfred Players. Let me welcome you to the Shakespearean comedy, Much Ado About Nothing. I'm Chuck. I'm the pastor here at Conway First Baptist Church. And let me just ask you, first of all, to silence your cell phones. Now, if you are an MD, if you're a medical doctor, raise your hand. All right, since there's not one here, nobody can have the cell phones on, all right? Turn them off. We do have a medical doctor or two, but I don't see them, so turn off your phones. Secondly, let me just encourage you, first of all, parents, your students are amazing. So Karen and I get to interact with your students during the day, and you don't see that, but let me just tell you that your kids are amazing, and you've done a great job. So, you know, the writer of Proverbs encourages us to raise up a child, raise up our children in the proper way, the righteous way, and you can take peace in knowing that you've done that. Your students are amazing, and you can be proud of yourselves for raising those. Secondly, parents, you are amazing. We are former homeschoolers. We know what it is to make the sacrifice to homeschool our children, to be with them all the time. And you are amazing. And by the way, parents that put this set up, designed it, attached it, set it up, wonderful job. So congratulations. Now, what we want to ask from you is if you need to use the restroom, if you will please exit the building to the back and walk around, because the play will be occurring all around us. So you can walk all the way around the building, come to the side doors, okay? That's good.
Yeah.
Look at me, please. Yeah. But please try to wait till intermission, all right? Secondly, and then I'm going to turn it over to Maria. Secondly, there are 3 times specifically I want you to cheer well for both our actors, our performers, and the rest of the crew. When they come out, cheer and encourage them. Some of these students have never done an on-stage play before, okay? So cheer them loud to be excited for them, to help them be excited. Secondly, when we have the close of the first act, cheer for them, cheer them loud, and then at the end of the night, cheer as enthusiastically as you possibly can, okay? So turn off your phones, cheer, and then at the appropriate times, and I'm at the age now, I turn on the closed captions on my TV. Shakespearean English is a little difficult at times, but at the appropriate times when you can pull it out, make sure you laugh at the jokes, okay? So it's okay to laugh. Interact with our players. They have worked so incredibly hard. Parents have put in already more than 40 hours, probably closer to 50 hours in these 3.5 days already this week to have what they've shown you here. So please show them your appreciation, your love. And Miss Maria, I will turn it over to you.
Be honored. You didn't have to hear me say all of that, so there, I won't repeat it. But thank you, Pastor Chuck. This church has been very welcoming. They're very open-handed with their church. As you can see, I've taken over. So they're very kind. And most churches won't let you even move the piano even an inch. So they're very kind. They do so many great services for the community. So we just love them. They're so great with the homeschool groups. But I just wanted to let you know, he gave you all that information. So there is an intermission. It's in the middle of, near the end of Act 3. So you'll have a break then. Actors do come, use the center aisle. So if you can, stay seated through the show. But if you need to use the restroom, or if you need to exit, please exit out the back, because back here it's dark and scary with scary teenage actors. So we will have, after this, a cookie reception. So you'll want to stay if you're still awake, for the sugar later. Okay, maybe we should have given you the sugar first. I don't know. But you're such fancy people come to see Shakespeare. I don't know. So anyway, these are students. This is not a drama program, although we do talk about a lot of drama things. So, but they're not, I don't audition. This isn't like, it's not like that. So they worked hard to become actors or to present this. So in doing Shakespeare, I just want to let you know, I've told them it's okay if they go up on their line, that they will call for line. because we're not going to improv Shakespeare. That would be really hard. So then they'll get their line and we'll move on, right? So yes, feel free to laugh, cry, everything, but get up in the middle of the aisles because we got actors coming in. Okay. So anyways, thank you. We're going to start the show.
Oh, bella, bellissima, most beautiful, finally I have found you. Can you tell me how much you love me?
Go away, you cursed Spaniard! I cannot stand you!
You can make it difficult or not. You know that you fell in love with me from head to toe, because now you know well what has happened. I was taking you away simply to seize the great ball and throne striking your brother, but I did more, much more.
Yes, what did you do? Tell me about it.
What did I do?
Yes,
With your brother, what did I do?
yes, tell me.
I'll give you the most beautiful news.
What did you do? Speak, vile one.
I murdered him!
Oh!
I murdered him!
How could you do that?
Oh!
Oh!
You are right, so good. He told me many times that I would bring anguish to his sister. What pain, what suffering has come to my son. What do I care about this death of your brother? The horse will always come to the gate which you seek. Let me mount you upon my horse, that I may make you Queen of Spain, that you may incite the will of Spain. Come, let's have a wedding. Let's do everything. I'll have the rings brought to you. Let's do everything, and let's not speak of it anymore. Come with me, with the good times or with the bad. Did you understand? With the good times or with the bad. It's Spain's moment, and you must come.
I will never come.
Angelica, my love, the tracks of the shepherd's shoes were correct. A beautiful princess as ever was, and it could not have been anyone other than you. Now, Angelica, now that I have found you, we'll go alone in the world, you and I, forever!
Yes, yes, my love, Orlando. But first send this cursed Spaniard away, and better that you kill him.
Who, me? I'm taking this beauty with me back to Spain. Oh, he'll kill Marsilio of Spain. Charlemagne, Orlando undermines the orders of Charlemagne. Are you mad?
You yourself know that you are no match for a paladin. Angelica, avert your eyes!
Oh.
You're not safe, my dear Angelica.
Oh, Orlando, Orlando. But look, Orlando, the whole Saracen army is upon you.
Hide yourself, Angelica, my love.
Okay. Oh, Orlando, my hero.
I learn in this letter that Don Pedro of Aragon comes this night to Messina.
He is very near by this. He was not 3 leagues off when I left him.
How many men have you lost in this action?
A few of any sort, and none of them.
A victory! Twice itself when the achiever brings home full numbers. I learn here Don Pedro hath bestowed much honor on a young Florentine called Claudia.
Much deserved on his part, and equally remembered by Don Pedro. He hath borne himself beyond the promise of his age, doing in the figure of a lamb the feats of a lion. He hath indeed bettered expectation, and you must expect me to tell you how.
He hath an uncle here in Messina will be very much glad of it.
I have already delivered him letters, and there appears much joy in him. Even so much that joy cannot show itself modest enough without a badge of bitterness.
Did he break out into tears?
In great measure.
A kind overflow of kindness. There are no faces truer than those that are so washed. How much better is it to weep at joy than to joy at weeping?
I pray you, is Signor Montanto returned from the wars or no?
I know none of that name, lady. There is none such in the army of any sort.
What is he that you ask for, niece?
My cousin meets Signor Benedict of Padua.
Oh, he's returned, as pleasant as ever he was.
I pray you, how many hath he killed and eaten in these wars? But how many hath he killed? For indeed I promise to eat all of his killing.
By my troth, niece, you tax Signor Benedict too much. But he'll be meet with you, I doubt it not.
He hath done good service, lady, in these wars.
You had must see victual, and he hath hoped to eat it. He is a very valiant trencherman. He hath an excellent stomach.
And a good soldier too, lady.
And a good soldier to a lady. But what is he to a lord?
A lord to a lord, a man to a man, stuffed with all honorable virtues.
It is so indeed. He is no less than a stuffed man. Well, but for the stuffing, well, we are all mortal.
You must not, sir, mistake my niece. There is a kind of merry war betwixt Signor Benedict and her. They never meet, but there's a skirmish of wit between them.
Alas, he gets nothing by that. In our last conflict, 4 of his 5 wits went halting off, and now is the whole man governed with 1, so that if he have enough wit to keep himself warm, let him bear it for a difference between himself and his horse. But who is his companion now? He hath every month a new sworn brother.
Is it possible?
Very easily possible. He wears his faith, but as the fashion of his hat, it ever changes with the next block.
I see, lady. The gentleman is not in your books.
No, and he were, I would burn my study. But who is his companion now? Is there no young squarer now that will make a voyage with him to the devil?
He is most in the company of the right noble Claudio.
Oh Lord, he will hang upon him like a disease. He is sooner caught in the pestilence, and the taker runs presently mad. God help the noble Claudio. If he have caught the Benedict, it will cost him £1,000 ere he be cured.
I will hold friends with you, lady.
Do, good friend.
You will never run mad, niece.
No, not till a hot January.
Don Pedro is approached.
Ah,
We were up long before the day to welcome in the summer, to welcome in the May. Oh, summer is a coming and the winter's gone away. Take the sword to wear the horn, it was the crest when you were born. Your father's father wore it and your father wore it too. Hey, Alonzo, hey, jolly Rumbelow, hey, we were up, hey, long before the day to welcome in the summer, to welcome in the May. Oh, summer is a coming and the winter's gone away. Hey, hey, hey!
Good, Signor. Good, Signor Leonato. Are you come to meet your trouble? The fashion of the world is to avoid cost, and you encounter it.
never came trouble to my house in the likeness of your grace. For trouble being gone, comfort should remain. But when you depart from me, sorrow abides, and happiness takes his leave.
You embrace your charge too willingly. I think this is your daughter.
Her mother hath many times told me so.
Were you in doubt, sir, that you asked her?
Signor Benedict! No, for then were you a child.
You have it full, Benedict. We may guess what you are, being a man. Truly the lady fathers herself. Be happy, lady, for you are like an honorable father.
If Signor Leonato be her father, she would not have his head on her shoulders for all Messina, as like him as she is.
I wonder you will still be talking, Signor Benedict. Nobody marks you.
What, my dear Lady Disdain? Are you yet living?
Is it possible disdain should die while she hath such meet food to feed it as Signor Benedict? Courtesy itself must convert to disdain if you come in her presence.
Then is courtesy a turncoat? But it is certain I am loved of all ladies. No, only you excepted. And I would I could find in my heart that I had not a hard heart, for truly I love none.
A dear happiness to women. They would else have been troubled with a pernicious suitor. I thank God in my cold blood I'm of your humor for that. I'd rather hear my dog bark at a crow than a man swear he loves me.
God keep your ladyship still in that mind, so some gentleman or other shall scape a predestinate scratched face.
Scratching could not make it worse, and 'twere such a face as yours were.
Well, you are a rare parrot teacher.
A bird of my tongue is better than a beast of yours.
I would my horse at the speed of your tongue, and so good a continuer. But keep your way, I have done.
You always end with a jade's trick. I know you of old.
That is the sum of all, Leonato. Signor Claudio, Signor Benedict, my dear friend Leonato hath invited you all. I tell him we shall stay at the least a month.
Yes!
Sorry. Any heartily prays that some occasion may detain us longer. I dare swear he is no hypocrite, but prays from his heart.
If you swear, my lord, you shall not be forsworn. Ah, let me bid you welcome, my lord. Being reconciled to the prince, your brother, I owe you all duty.
I thank you. I am not of many words, but I thank you.
Please it, your grace, lead on.
Go on, Leonato, we'll go together.
Benedict,
Dost thou know the daughter of Signor Leonato?
I noted her not, but I looked on her.
Is she not a modest young lady?
Do you question me as an honest man should do for my simple true judgment, or would you have me speak after my custom, as being a professed tyrant to their sex?
I pray thee speak in sober judgment.
Why, if faith, methinks she's too low for a high praise, and too little for a great praise. Only this commendation I can afford her, that were she other than she is, she were unhandsome, and being no other but as she is, I do not like her.
Thou thinkest I am in sport. I pray thee, tell me truly how thou likest her.
Would you buy her that you inquire after her?
Can the world buy such a jewel?
Yea, and a case to put it into. But speak you this with a sad brow, or do you play the flouting jack to tell us Cupid is a good hair finder and Vulcan a rare carpenter? Come, in what key shall a man take you to go in the song?
In mine eyes, she is the sweetest lady that ever I looked upon.
I can see yet without spectacles, and I see no such matter. There's her cousin, and she were not possessed with a fury, exceeds her as much in beauty as the 1st of May doth the last of December. But I hope you have no intent to turn husband, have you?
I would scarce trust myself, though I have sworn the contrary, if Hero would be my wife.
It's come to this. Hath not the world one man, but he will wear his cap with suspicion? Shall I never see a bachelor of 80 again? Go to, a faith, and thou wilt needs thrust thy neck into a yoke. Wear the print of it, and sigh away Sunday.
What secret hath held you here that you followed not to Leonato's?
I would your grace would constrain me to tell.
I charge thee, on thy allegiance.
Ah, you hear, Count Claudio, I can be as secret as a dumb man. I would have you think so. But on my allegiance, mark you this, on my allegiance, he is in love. With who? Now that is your grace's part. Mark how short his answer is. With Hero, Leonato's short daughter.
If this were so, so it were uttered.
Ah, like the old tale, my lord, it is not so, nor 'twas not so, but indeed, God forbid it should be so.
And if my passion change not shortly, God forbid it should be otherwise.
Amen, if you love her, for the lady is very well worthy.
You speak this to fetch me in, my lord.
By my troth, I spoke my thought.
And my lord, I spoke mine.
And by my 2 faiths and troths, my lord, I spoke mine.
That I love her, I feel.
That she is worthy, I know.
That I neither feel how she should be loved, nor know how she should be worthy, is the opinion that fire cannot melt out of me. I will die in it, at the stake.
Thou wast ever an obstinate heretic in the despite of beauty.
And could never hold his part, but in the force of his will.
No. That a woman conceived me. Yeah, I thank her. That she brought me up, I likewise give her most humble thanks, but that I will have her a cheat winded in my forehead, or hang my bugle in an invisible boulder, no. All women shall pardon me, because I will not do them the wrong to mistrust any. I will do myself the right to trust none. And the fine is, for the which I may go the finer, I will live a bachelor.
I shall see thee ere I die, look pale with love.
With anger, with sickness, or with hunger, my lord, not with love. Prove that ever I lose more blood with love than I will get again with drinking. Pick out mine eyes with a ballad maker's pen.
Well, if ever thou dost fall from this faith, thou wilt prove a most notable argument.
If I do, hang me in a bottle like a cat, and let men shoot at me, and he that hits me, then will be clapped on the shoulder and called Adam.
Well, as time shall try, in time the savage bull doth bear the yoke.
The savage bull may, but if ever the sensible Benedict bear it, pluck off the bull's horns and set them in my forehead, and let me be vilely painted, and in such great letters as you may see, here is good horse to hire, let them signify under my sign, here you may see Benedict, the married man.
Well, you will temporize with the hours. In the meantime, good Signor Benedict, repair unto Leonato's, commend me to him, and tell him that I will not fail him at supper, for indeed he hath made a great preparation.
I have almost matter enough in me for such an embassage, and so I commit you
To the tuition of God, from my house, if I had it.
The 6th of July, your loving friend, Benedict.
Nay, mock not, mock not. The body of your discourse is sometimes guarded with fragments, and the guards are but slightly basted on neither. Ere you flout old ends any further, examine your conscience. And so I leave you.
Your Highness now may do me good.
My love is thine to teach. Teach it but how, and thou shalt see how it is apt to learn any hard lesson that shall do thee good.
Hath Leonato any son, my lord?
No child but Hero, she's his only heir. Dost thou affect her, Claudio?
Oh, my lord, when you went onward on this ended action, I looked on her with a soldier's eye, that liked, but had a rougher task in mind than driving liking to the name of love. But now I am returned, and those war thoughts have left their places vacant, come thronging in their rooms soft and delicate desires, all prompting me how fair young Hero is, saying I liked her ere I went to wars.
Thou wilt be like a lover presently, and tire the hearer with a book of words. If thou lovest fair Hero, cherish it, and to her and to her father will I break. And thou shalt have her. Was not to this end that thou beganst to twist so fine a story?
How sweetly you do minister to love, and know love's grief by his complexion. But that my liking might not too sudden seem, I would have salved it with a longer treatise.
What need the bridge much broader than the flood? The fairest grantest the necessity. Look, what will serve as fit? 'Tis once thou lovest, and I will fit thee with the remedy. I know we'll have revelling tonight. I will assume thy part in some disguise, and tell fair Hero that I am Claudio, and in her bosom will unclasp my heart, and take her hearing prisoner, with the force and strong encounter of my amorous tale. Then to her will I break, then to her father will I break, and the conclusion is, she shall be thine. In practice, let us put it presently.
No. How now, sister? Where is my cousin, your son? Hath he provided this music?
He's very busy about it. But brother, I can tell you of strange news you dreamt not of.
Are they good?
As ye have been Samson, they have a good cover, they show outward. The prince and Count Claudio, walking in the thick bleached alley in mine orchard, were thus overheard by a man of mine. The prince discovered to Claudio that he loves my niece, your daughter, and written to acknowledge it this night in a dance. And if he found to record it, he was to take the present time by the top and instantly break with you of it.
Hath the fellow any wit that told you this?
A good sharp fellow, I will send for him and question him yourself.
No, no, no. We will hold it as a dream could appear itself. But I will acquaint my daughter withal, that she may be the better prepared for an answer if peradventure this be true. Go you and tell her of it. Cousins, you know your office. So I cry you mercy, friend. Go you with me and I will use your skill.
What the good year, my lord? Why are you thus at a measure sad?
There is no measure in the occasion that breeds, therefore the sadness is without limit.
You should hear reason.
And when I have heard it, what blessing brings it?
If not a present remedy, then at least a patient sufferance.
I wonder that thou, being as thou sayest thou art, born under Saturn, goest about to apply a moral medicine to a mortifying mischief. I cannot hide what I am. I must be sad when I have cause, and smile at no man's jest. Eat when I have stomach, and wait for no man's leisure. Sleep when I am drowsy, and tend on no man's business. Laugh when I am merry, and applaud no man in his humor.
Yea, but you must not make the full show of this, till you may do it without controlment. You have of late stood out against your brother, and he have tamed you newly into his grace. Or it is impossible you should take true root, but by the fair weather that you make yourself, it is needful that you frame the season for your own harvest.
I had rather be a canker in a hedge than a rose in his grace, and it better fits my blood to be disdained of all than to fashion a carriage to rob love from any. In this, though it cannot be said to be a flattering honest man, it must not be denied, but I am a plain-dealing villain. I am trusted with the muzzle and enfranchised with the clog. Therefore, I have decreed not to sing in my cage. If I had my mouth, I would bite. If I had my liberty, I would do my liking. In the meantime, let me be that I am, and seek not to alter me.
Can you make no use of your discontent?
I make all use of it, for I use it only. Who comes here? What news brought you?
I came yonder from a great supper. The prince, your brother, is royally entertained by Leonato, and I can give you intelligence of an intended marriage.
Will it serve for any model to build mischief on? What is he for a fool that would betroth himself to unquietness?
Mary, it's your brother's right hand.
Who, the most exquisite Claudio?
Even he.
A proper squire. And who? Which way looks he?
Mary, on Hero, the daughter and heir of Leonato.
A very forward marked chick. How came you to this?
Well, being entertained for a perfumer, as I was smoking a musty roof, comes me, the prince, and Claudio, hand in hand, in sad conference. I whipped me behind the arras, and there heard it agreed upon, that the prince should woo Hero for himself, and, having obtained her, give her to Count Claudio.
Come, let us thither. This may prove food to my displeasure. That young startup has all the glory of my overthrow. If I can cross him any way, I bless myself every way. You are both sure and will assist me.
To the death, my lord!
Ah! Your cheers the greater that I'm subdued. Would the cook were of my mind. Shall we go prove what's to be done?
Wait upon your lordship.
Was not Count John here at supper?
I saw him not.
I never can see him, but I am heartburned an hour after.
He is of a very melancholy disposition.
You are an excellent man that were made just in the midway between him and Benedict. The one is too like an image and says nothing, and the other too like my lady's eldest son, ever more tattling.
Then half Signor Benedict's tongue in Count John's mouth, and half Count John's melancholy in Signor Benedict's face.
A good leg and a good foot, uncle, and money enough in his purse. Such a man would win any woman in the world, if he could get her goodwill.
Niece, thou wilt never get thee a husband, if thou be so shrewd of thy tongue.
In faith, she is too cursed.
Too cursed is more than cursed. I shall lessen God's sending that way, for it is said, God sends a cursed cow short horns, but to a cow too cursed, he sends none.
So by being too cursed, God will give you no horns?
Just if he send me no husband, for the which blessing I am at him upon my knees every morning and evening. Lord, I could not endure a husband with the beard on his face. I'd rather lie in the woolen.
You may light on a husband that hath no beard.
What should I do with him? Dress him in my apparel and make him my waiting gentlewoman? He that hath a beard is more than a youth, and he that hath no beard is less than a man. And he that is more than a youth is not for me, and he that is less than a man, I am not for him. Therefore I will even take sixpence in earnest of the bear herd and lead his apes into hell.
Well then, go you into hell.
No, but to the gate. And there will the devil meet me like an old cuckold with horns on his head and say, "Get you to heaven, Beatrice, get you to heaven. Here's no place for you maids." So deliver I up my apes, and away to St. Peter for the heavens. He shows me where the bachelors sit, and there live we as merry as the day is long.
Well, niece, I trust that you will be ruled by your father.
Yes, Faith, it is my cousin's duty to make courtesy and say, "Father, as it please you." But yet, for all that, cousin, let him be a handsome fellow, or else make another courtesy and say, "Father, as it please me."
Well, niece, I hope to see you one day fitted with a husband.
Not till God make men of some other metal than earth. Would it not grieve a woman to be overmastered with a piece of valiant dust, to make an account of her life to a clod of wayward marl? No, uncle, I'll none. Adam's sons are my brethren, and truly I hold it a sin to match in my kindred.
Well, daughter, if the prince do solicit you in that kind, you know your answer.
The fault will be in the music, cousin, if you be not wooed in good time. If the prince be too important, tell him there is measure in everything, and so dance out the answer. For hear me, hero, wooing, wedding, and repenting is as a Scotch jig, a measure and a syncopace. The first suit is hot and hasty like a Scotch jig and full as fantastical. The wedding, mannerly, modest as a measure full of state and ancientry. And then comes repentance, and with his bad legs falls into the syncopace faster and faster until he sink into his grave.
Faith, cousin, you apprehend passing shrewdly.
I have a good eye, uncle. I can see a church by daylight.
The revelers are entering. Sister, make good room.
Lady, will you walk about with your friend?
So you walk softly and look sweetly and say nothing. I am yours for the walk, and especially when I walk away.
With me in your company?
I may say so when I please.
I would please you to say so.
When I like of your favor, for God forbid the loot should be like the case.
My visor's Philemon's roof. Within the house is Jove.
Why then, your visor should be thatched.
Speak low if you speak low.
Well, I would you did like me.
So would not I, for your own sake, for I have many ill qualities.
Which is one?
I say my prayers aloud.
I love you the better. The hearers may cry, Amen.
God match me with a good dancer.
Amen.
And God keep him from my sight when the dance is done. Answer, clerk.
No more words. Clerk has answered.
I know you well enough. You are Signor Leonato.
Not a word, I am not.
I know you by the waggling of your head.
To tell you true, I counterfeit him.
You could never do him so ill well unless you were the very man. Here's his dry hand up and down. You are he, you are he.
Not a word, I am not.
Come, do you think I do not know you by your excellent wit? Can virtue hide itself? Go to Mum. You are he. Graces will appear. And there's an end.
Will you not tell me who told you so?
No, you shall pardon me.
Nor will you not tell me who you are?
Not now, no.
That I was disdainful, and that I had my good wit out of the 100 merry tales. Well, this was Senior Benedict that said so.
What's he?
I'm sure you know him well enough.
Not I, believe me.
Did he never make you laugh?
I pray you, what is he?
Why, he is the prince's jester, a very dull fool. Only his gift is in devising impossible slanders. None but libertines delight in him, and the commendation is not in his wit, but in his villainy, for he both pleases men and angers them, and then they both laugh at him and beat him. I'm sure he's incomplete, at what he had borne in me.
When I know the gentleman, I'll tell him what you say.
Do. He'll but break a comparison or two on me which peradventure not marked, or not laughed at, strikes him into melancholy, and there's a partridge wing saved, for the fool will eat no supper that night. We must follow the leaders.
Sure, my brother is amorous on Hero, and hath withdrawn her father to break with him about it. The ladies follow her, and but one visor remains.
And that is Claudio. I know him by his bearing.
Are not you Signor Benedict?
Yea, I am he.
Signor, you are very near my brother in his love. He is enamored on Hero. I pray you dissuade him from her. She is no equal for his birth. You may do the part of an honest man in it.
How know you this?
I heard him swear his affection.
So did I too. And he swore he would marry her tonight.
Come, let us to the banquet.
Thus answer I in the name of Benedict. But hear these ill news with the ears of Claudio. 'Tis certain so, the prince woos for himself. Friendship is constant in all things, save in the office and affairs of love. Therefore, let every heart use their own tongue. Let every eye negotiate for itself, and trust no agent. For beauty is a witch, against whose charms faith melteth into blood. This is an object of hourly proof, which I mistrusted not. Farewell, therefore, hero!
Count Claudio!
Yea, the same.
Come, will you go with me?
Whither?
Even to the next willow, about your own business, County. What fashion will you wear the garland of? About your neck like a usurer's chain, or under the arm like a lieutenant's scarf? You must wear it one way, for the prince hath got your hero.
I wish him joy of her.
Why, that's spoken like an honest drover, so they sell bullocks. But did you think the prince would have served you thus?
I pray you, leave me.
Oh, now you strike like the blind man. 'Twas the boy that stole your meat, and you beat the post.
If it will not be, I'll leave you.
Alas, the poor hurt fowl, knowingly creep into hedges. Oh, hero! But that my lady Beatrice should know me, and not know me. The prince's fool. It may be I go under that title because I am married. Yeah? Yeah? No. But so I am apt to do myself wrong. I am not so reputed. It is the base, though bitter disposition of Beatrice that puts the world into her person, and so gives me out. Well, I'll be revenged, as I may.
Now, Signor, where's the Count? Did you see him?
Troth, my lord, I have played the part of Lady Fame. I found him here, as melancholy as a lodge in a warren, and I told him, and I think I told him truly, that your grace had got the goodwill of this young lady, and I offered him my company to a willow tree, either to make him a garland as being forsaken, or to bind him up a rod as being worthy to be whipped.
To be whipped? What's his fault?
The flat transgression of a schoolboy, who, being overjoyed at finding a bird's nest, shows it his companion, and he steals it.
I but teach them to sing, and restore them to their owner.
By my faith, you say honestly.
The Lady Beatrice hath a quarrel to you. The gentleman that danced with her told her that she was much wronged by you.
Oh, she misused me! That's the endurance of a block, an oak, but with one green leaf on it would have answered her. My very visor began to assume life and scold with her. She told me, not thinking I had been myself, that I was the prince's jester. That I was duller than a great thaw, huddling jest upon jest with such impossible conveyance upon me, that I stood like a man at a mark, with a whole army shooting at me. She speaks poniards, and every word stabs. If her breath were as terrible as her terminations, there were no living near her. She would infect to the North Star. I would not marry her if she were endowed with all that Adam had left him before he transgressed. Come, talk not of her. I would some scholar would conjure her, for certainly, while she is here, a man may live as quiet in hell as in a sanctuary, and people sin on purpose because they would go thither. So indeed, all disquiet, horror, and perturbation follow her.
Oh, look, here she comes.
Will your grace command me any service to the world's end? I will go on the slightest errand now to the antipodes that you can devise to send me on. Fetch you a toothpicker from the furthest inch of Asia. Bring you the length of Prester John's foot. Fetch you a hair off the great Cham's beard. Do you any embassage to the pygmies, rather than hold 3 words conference with this harpy. You have no employment for me.
None, but to desire your good company.
Oh, sir, here's a dish I love not. I cannot endure my lady tongue.
Come, lady, come. You have lost the heart of Signor Benedict.
Indeed, my lord, he lent it me a while, and I gave him use for it. a double heart for his single one. Marry once before he won it of me with false dice, therefore your grace may well say I have lost it.
You have put him down, lady, you have put him down.
I have brought Count Claudio, whom you sent me to seek.
Why, how now, Count, wherefore are you sad?
Not sad, my lord.
How then, sick?
Neither, my lord.
The Count is neither sad nor sick, nor merry nor well, but civil, Count. Civil as an orange, and something of that jealous complexion.
The faith, lady, I think your blazon be true, but if he be so, his conceit is false. Here, Claudio, I have wooed in thy name, and fair hero is won. I broke with her father, and his goodwill obtained. Name the day of marriage, and God give thee joy.
Count, take of me my daughter, and with her my fortunes. His grace hath made the match, and every grace say amen to it.
Amen. Speak, Count, 'tis your cue.
I were but little happy if I could say how much. Sweet lady, as you are mine, I am yours. I give myself away for you and dote upon the exchange.
Speak, cousin, or if you cannot, stop his mouth with a kiss and let not him speak neither.
In faith, lady, you have a merry heart.
Yea, my lord, I thank it, poor fool. It keeps on the windy side of care. But my cousin tells him in his ear that he is in her heart.
And so she doth. Cousin!
Good Lord for alliance. Thus goes everyone to the world but I, and I am sunburnt. I may sit in a corner and cry hey-ho for a husband.
Lady Beatrice, I'll get thee one.
I had rather one of your father's getting. Hath your grace ne'er a brother like you? Your father got excellent husbands, if a maid could come by them.
Will you have me, lady?
No, my lord, unless I might have another for working days. Your grace is too costly to wear every day. But I beseech your grace, pardon me. I was born to speak all mirth and no matter.
Your silence most offends me, but to be married best becomes you. For out of the question were you born in a merry hour.
No, sure, my lord. My mother cried, but then there was a star, danced, and under that was I born. Cousins, God give you joy.
Niece, would you look to those things I told you of?
I cry you mercy, uncle, by your grace's pardon.
By my troth, a pleasant-spirited lady.
There's but little of the melancholy element in her, my lord. She is never sad but when she sleeps, and never sad then, for I have heard my daughter say she hath often dreamt of unhappiness and waked herself with laughing.
She cannot endure to hear tell of a husband.
Oh, by no means. She mocks all of her wooers out of suit.
She were an excellent wife for Benedict.
Oh, Lord, my lord. If they were but a week married, they would talk themselves mad.
Count Claudio, when mean you to go to church?
Tomorrow, my lord. Time goes on crutches till love have all his rights.
Not till Monday, my dear son, which is hence a just 7 night, and a time too brief to have all things answer my mind.
Come, you shake the head at so long a breathing. But I warrant thee, Claudio, the time shall not go dully by us, for I in the interim will undertake one of Hercules' labors, which is to bring the Lady Beatrice and Signor Benedict into a mountain of affection, the one with the other. I would fain have it a match, and doubt not but to fashion it, if you three will administer such assistance as I shall give direction.
My lord, I am for you, though it's cost me 10 nights watching.
And I, my lord.
And you too, gentle hero.
I will do any modest office, my lord, to help my cousin to a good husband.
And Benedict is not the unhopefulest husband that I know. Thus far can I praise him. He is of a noble strain, of approved valor, and confirmed honesty. I will teach you to humor your cousin so that she will fall in love with Benedict, and I, with your 2 helps, will so practice on Benedict that in despite of his quick wit and his queasy stomach, he shall fall in love with Beatrice. If we can do this, Cupid is no longer an archer. His glory shall be ours, for we are the only love gods. Go with me, and I will tell thee my drift.
It is so. Count Claudio shall marry the daughter of Leonato.
Yea, my lord, but I can't cross it.
Any bar, any cross, any impediment is medicinable to me. I am sick in displeasure to him, and whatsoever comes athwart his affection ranges evenly with mine. How canst thou cross this marriage?
Not honestly, my lord, but so covertly that no dishonesty shall appear in me.
Show me briefly how.
I believe I told your lordship a year since how much I am in the favor of Margaret, the waiting gentlewoman to Hero.
I remember.
I can, at any unseasonable instant of the night, appoint her to look out at her lady's chamber window.
But life isn't that to be the death of this marriage.
The poison of that lies in you to temper. Go you to the prince your brother, spare not to tell him that he hath wronged his honor in marrying the renowned Claudio, whose estimation do you mightily hold up to a contaminated stale one such as Hero.
What proof shall I make of that?
Proof enough to misuse the prince, to vex Claudio, to undo Hero, and kill Leonato. Look you for any other issue?
Only to despite them I will endeavor anything.
Go then, find me a meet hour to draw Don Pedro and the Count Claudio alone. Tell them that you know Hero loves me. Intend a kind of zeal both to the prince and Claudio, as in love of your brother's honor, who hath made this match, and his friend's reputation, which is thus like to be cozened with the semblance of a maid, that you have discovered thus. They will scarcely believe this without trying. Offer them instances which shall bear no less likelihood than to see me at her chamber window. Hear me call Margaret Hero, hear Margaret term me Claudio, and bring them to cease this the very night before the intended wedding. And I will so fashion the matter that Hero shall be absent, and there shall appear such seeming truth of Hero's disloyalty, that jealousy shall be called assurance, and all the preparations overthrown.
Grow this to what adverse issue it can. I will put it into practice. Be cunning in the working of this, and thy fee is 1,000 ducats.
Be you constant in your accusation, and my cunning shall not shame me.
I will presently go learn their day of marriage.
Ah, good mistress Margaret.
Signor,
In my chamber window lies a book. Bring it hither to me in the orchard.
I am here already, sir.
I know that, but I would have thee hence and here again. I do much wonder that one man, seeing how much another man is a fool when he dedicates his behaviors to love, will, after he hath laughed at such shallow follies in others, become the argument of his own scorn by falling in love. And such a man is Claudio. I have known when there was no music with him but the drum and the fife, and now he had rather hear the tabor and the pipe. I have known when he would have walked 10 miles afoot to see a good armor, and now will he lie 10 nights awake, carving the fashion of a new doublet. He was wont to speak plain and to the purpose, like an honest man, and now is he turned orthographer. His words are a very fantastical banquet, just so many strange dishes. May I be so converted and see with these eyes? I cannot tell, I think not. I will not be sworn, but love may transform me to an oyster. But I'll be sworn on it. Till he has made an oyster of me, he shall never make me such a fool. One woman is fair, yeah, yet I am well. Another is wise, yet I am well. Another is virtuous, yet I am well. But till all graces be in one woman shall not come in my grace. No. Rich she shall be, that's certain. Wise, or I'll none. Virtuous, or I'll never cheapen her. Fair, or I'll never look on her. Mild, or come not near me. Noble, or not I for an angel. Of good discourse, an excellent musician, and her hair shall be of what color it please God. Ha! The prince and Monsieur Love. I will hide me in the arbor.
Come! Shall we hear this music?
Oh, aye, how still the evening is. as if hushed on purpose to grace harmony.
See you where Benedict hath hid himself?
Oh, very well, my lord. The music ended, we'll knit the kid fox with a pennyworth.
Come, Antonia, we'll hear that song again.
Oh, good my lord, text not so bad a voice to slander music any more than once.
It is the witness still of excellency to put a strange face on his own perfection. I pray thee sing, and let me woo no more.
Because you talk of wooing, I will sing. Since many a wooer doth commence to suit to her he thinks not worthy, yet he woos, yet will he swear he loves.
Nay, I pray thee, if thou wilt hold longer arguments, do it in notes.
Note this before my notes. There's not a note of mine that's worth the noting.
Why, these are very crotchets that she speaks. Note notes forsooth and nothing.
Ah, now divine air, now is his soul ravaged. Is it not strange that sheep's guts should hail souls out of men's bodies, while a horn for my money when all's done?
By my troth, a good song.
An ill singer, my lord.
No, Faith, thou singest well enough for a shift.
And she had been the dog that should have howled thus, they would have hanged her.
Mary, dost thou hear, Antonia? I pray thee, get us some excellent music, for tomorrow night we would have it at the Lady Hero's chamber window.
The best I can, my lord.
Do so, farewell. What was it you told me of? No, come hither, Leonato. What was it you told me of today? That your niece Beatrice was in love with Signor Benedict?
Oh, I! Stop on, the foul sits. I never thought that lady would have loved any man.
No, nor I, neither. 'Twas most wonderful that she should so dote on Signor Benedict, whom she hath in all outward behaviours seemed ever to abhor.
Is it possible, since the wind in that corner?
By my troth, I cannot tell what to think of it, but that she loves him with an enraged affection. 'Tis past the infinite of thought.
Maybe she doth but counterfeit.
Faith, like enough.
Counterfeit? There was never counterfeit of passion came so near the life of passion as she discovers it.
Why, what effects of passion shows she?
Bait the hook well, this fish will bite.
What effects, my lord? She will sit and... You heard my daughter tell you how? She did indeed!
You amaze me. I would have thought her spirits invincible against all assault of affection.
So would I, my lord, especially against Benedict.
I should think this a gulper that the white-bearded fellow speaks it. Knavery cannot sure hide itself in such reverence.
You may give me affection. Hold it up.
Has she made action known to Benedict?
No, and swears she never will. That's her torment.
Aye, so your daughter tells us. Shall I, says she, that have so often countered him with scorn, write to him that I love him?
For this says she now when she's beginning to write to him. For she'll give 20 times a night, and there will she sit in her smock till she have writ a sheet of paper. My daughter tells us all.
Now you talk of a sheet of paper. I remember a pretty jest your daughter told us of.
Oh, when she had written and was reading it over, she found Benedict and Beatrice between the sheets.
That's...
Oh, she tore the letter into 1,000 halfpence, railed at herself that she should be so immodest to write to one that she knew would flout her. I measure him, says she, upon my own spirit, for I should flout him if he writ to me, yea, though I love him, I should.
Then down upon her knees she falls, weeps, sobs, beats her heart, tears her hair, prays, curses. Oh, sweet Benedict, God give me patience.
Oh, she doth indeed. My daughter says so. And the ecstasy hath so much overborne her, my daughter is sometimes afeard she would do a desperate outrage to herself. It is very true.
Evening.
It were good that Benedict knew of it of some other, if she will not discover it.
But to what end? He would but make a sport of it to torment the poor lady worse.
And he should, it were an alms to hang him. She's an excellent sweet lady, and out of all suspicion she is virtuous.
And she's exceeding wise.
In everything but in loving Benedict.
Oh, my lord, wisdom and blood combating in so tender a body. We have 10 proofs to 1 that blood hath the victory. I am sorry for her, as I have just cause, being her uncle and her guardian.
I would she had bestowed this dotage on me. I would have daffed all other respects and made her half myself. I pray you, tell Benedict of it, and hear what he will say.
Hero thinks surely she will die, for she will die if he love her not. And she will die if he woo her, and she will die if he woo her rather than she will bate one breath of her accustomed crossness.
She doth well. If she should make tender of her love, 'tis very possible to scorn it. For the man, as you all know, hath a contemptible spirit.
He is a very proper man.
He hath indeed a good outward happiness.
Before God and in mine eye, very wise.
He shows some sparks that are like wit.
And I take him to be valiant.
As Hector, I assure you. And in the management of quarrels you may say is wise, for either he avoids them with great discretion, or else undertakes them with the most Christian-like fear. Well, I'm sorry for your niece. Shall we go seek Benedict and tell him of her love?
Never tell him, my lord. Let her wear it out with good counsel.
Nay, that's impossible. She may wear her heart out first.
Well, we'll hear of it further by your daughter. Let it cool the while. I love Benedict well, and I could wish he would modestly examine himself to see how unworthy he is of so good a lady.
My lord, will you walk? Dinner's ready.
If he do not dote on her upon this, I will never trust my expectations.
Let the same net be spread for her. That must your daughter and her gentlewomen carry. The sport will be when they hold one in opinion of another's dotage. That's the scene what I would see, which will be merely a dumb show. I said we would call him into dinner.
This can be no trick. The conference was sadly born. They have the truth of this from Hero. They seem to pity the lady. It seems her affections have their full bent. Love me. Why, it must be requited. I hear how I am censured. They say I will bear myself proudly if I perceive the love come from her. They say, too, that she will rather die than give any sign of affection. Oh, I did never think to marry. I must not seem proud. Happy are they that hear their detractions and can put them to mending. They say the lady is fair. 'Tis a truth I can bear them witness, and virtuous 'tis so I cannot reprove it, and wise, but for loving me. By my troth, it is no addition to her wit, nor no great argument of her folly, for I will be horribly in love with her. I may chance have some odd quirks and remnants of wit broken on me, because I have railed so long against marriage. But doth not the appetite alter? A man loves the meat in his youth that he cannot endure in his age. Shall quips and sentences and these paper bullets of the brain awe a man from the career of his humor? No! The world must be peopled! When I said I would die a bachelor, I did never think I should live till I were married. Here comes Beatrice. By this day she's a fair lady. I do spy some marks of love in her.
Against my will, I am sent to bid you come into dinner.
A fair Beatrice, I thank you for your pains.
I took no more pains for those thanks than you take pains to thank me. If it had been painful, I would not have come.
You take pleasure, then, in the message?
Yea, just so much as you may take upon a knife's point to choke a doll withal.
Oh, yeah, it's a good one.
You have no stomach, signor?
Oh, well.
Fare you well.
Ha! Against my will, I am sent to bid you come into dinner. There's a double meaning in that. I took no more pains for those thanks than you take pains to thank me. That's as much as to say, any pains that I take for you is as easy as thanks. If I do not take pity of her, I am a villain. If I do not love her, I am a dog. I will go get her picture.
Good Margaret, run thee to the parlor. There shalt thou find my cousin Beatrice, proposing with the prince and Claudio. Whisper her ear and tell her I and Ursula do walk in the orchard, and our whole discourse is all of her. Say that thou overheardst us, and bid her hide her in the pleated bower, where honeysuckles ripened by the sun forbid the sun to enter, like favorites made proud by princes, that advance their pride against the power that bred it. There will she hide her to listen our propose. This is thy office, fare thee well in it, and leave us alone.
I'll make her come, I warrant you, presently.
Now, Ursula, when Beatrice doth come, as we do trace this alley up and down, our talk must only be of Benedick. When I do name him, let it be thy part to praise him more than ever man did merit. My talk to thee must be how Benedick is sick in love with Beatrice. Of this matter is little Cupid's crafty arrow made, which only wounds by hearsay. Now begin, for look where Beatrice, like a lapwing, runs close by the ground to hear our conference.
The pleasantest angling is to see the fish, cut with her golden oars the silver stream, and greedily devour the treacherous bait. So angle we for Beatrice, who even now is couched in the woodbine coverture. Fear ye not my part of the dialogue.
Then go we near her, that her ear lose nothing of the false sweet fate we lay for. No, truly, Ursula, she is too disdainful. I know her spirits are as coy and wild as haggards of the rock.
But are you sure that Benedick loves Beatrice so entirely?
So says the prince, and my new betrothed lord.
And did they bid you tell her of it, madam?
They did entreat me to acquaint her of it, but I persuaded them, if they love Benedick, absence, and never to let Beatrice know of it.
Why did you so? Doth not the gentleman deserve as full, as fortunate a bed as ever Beatrice shall couch upon?
O God of love, I know he doth deserve as much as may be yielded to a man, but nature never framed a woman's heart of prouder stuff than that of Beatrice. Disdain and scorn rise sparkling in her eyes, misprizing what they look on, and her wit values itself so highly that to her all matter else seems weak. She cannot love, nor take no shape, nor project of affection. She is so self-endeared.
Sure, I think so. Therefore certainly were not good she knew his love, lest she make sport at it.
Why, you speak truth. I never yet saw a man how wise, how noble, young, how rarely featured, but she would spell him backward. If fair-faced, she should swear the gentleman should be her sister. If black, nature drawing with an antique made a foul blot. If tall, a lance ill-headed. If tall, a lance ill-headed. If low, an agate very vilely cut. If speaking, a vein blown with all winds. If silent, a block moved with none. So turns she every man the wrong side out, and never gives to truth and virtue that which simpleness and merit purchaseth.
Sure, such carping is not commendable.
No, not to be so odd and from all fashions as Beatrice is, cannot be commendable. But who dare tell her so? If I should speak, she would mock me into error. Why, she would laugh me out of myself, press me to death with wit. Therefore, let Benedict, like covered fire, consume away its ties, waste inwardly. It were a better death than die with mocks, which is as bad as die with tickling.
Yes, tell her of it! Hear what she will say!
No. I will go to Benedict and counsel him to fight against his passions. And truly, I'll devise some honest slanders to stain my cousin with. One does not know how much an ill word may empoison liking.
Oh, do not do your cousin such a wrong. She cannot be so much without true judgment, having so swift and excellent a wit as she is prized to have, to few so rare a gentleman as Signor Benedict.
He is the only man of Italy. Always accepted, my dear Claudio.
I pray you, be not angry with me, madam, speaking my fancy. Signor Benedict, for shape, for bearing, argument, and valor, goes foremost in report through Italy.
Indeed, he hath an excellent, good name.
His excellence did earn it ere he had it. When are you married, madam?
Why, every day tomorrow. Come, go in. I'll show thee some attires and have thy counsel which is best to furnish me tomorrow.
She's limed, I warrant you. We have caught her, madam.
If it proves so, then loving goes by haps. Some Cupid kills with arrows, some with traps.
Fire is in my ears. Can this be true? Stand I, condemned, for pride and scorn so much? Contempt, farewell, and made in pride adieu. No glory lives behind the back of such. And Benedict, love on, I will requite thee, taming my wild heart to thy loving hand. If thou dost love, my kindness shall incite thee to bind our loves up in a holy band. For others say thou dost deserve, and I believe better than reportingly.
And you would stay till your marriage be consummate. Then go I toward Arrogant.
I'll bring you thither, my lord, if you'll vouchsafe me.
Nay, that would be as the greatest soil in the new gloss of your marriage, as to show a child his new coat and forbid him to wear it. I will only be bold with Benedict for his company, for from the crown of his head to the sole of his foot he is all mirth. He hath twice or thrice cut Cupid's bowstring, and the little hangman dare not shoot at him. His heart is as sound as the bell, and his tongue is the clapper, for what his heart thinks, his tongue speaks.
Gallants, I am not as I have been.
So say I. Methinks you are sadder.
I hope he be in love.
Dang him, truant. There's no true drop of blood in him to be truly touched with love. If he be sad, he wants money.
No, I have the toothache.
What? Sigh you for the toothache?
Where's but a humor or word?
Well, everyone can master a grief, but he that has it.
Yet say he is in love.
There is no appearance of fancy in him, unless it is a fancy he hath to strange disguises.
If he be not in love, there is no believing old signs.
Hath any man seen him at the barber's?
No, but the barber's man hath been seen with him.
Indeed. He looks younger than he did.
Nay, he rubs himself with civet. Can you smell him out by that?
Not as much as to say, the sweet youth's in love.
The greatest note of it is in his melancholy.
And when was he wont to wash his face?
Yea, or to paint himself, for the which I hear what they say of him.
And his jesting spirit, which now crept into a lute string and governed by stops.
Yea, that tells a heavy tale for him. Conclude, conclude. He is in love.
But I know who loves him.
Yea, that would I know. I warrant one who knows him not.
And his ill conditions. And in spite of all, dies for him.
She shall be buried with her face upwards.
Yet is this no charm for the toothache? Old Signor, walk aside with me. I have studied 8 or 9 wise words to speak to you, which these hobby horses must not hear.
For my life, to break with him about Beatrice.
'Tis even so. Hero and Margaret have by this played their parts, and now the two bears will not bite one another when they meet.
My lord and brother, God save you.
Good evening, brother.
Your leisure served, I would speak with you.
In private.
If it please you, yet Count Claudio may hear, for what I would speak of concerns him.
Why, what's the matter?
Means your lordship to be married tomorrow.
You know he does.
I know not that, when he knows what I know.
If there be any impediment, I pray you discover it.
You may think I love you not. Let that appear hereafter, and aim better at me, by that I will now manifest. For my brother, I think he holds you well, and in dearness of heart hath hope to effect your ensuing marriage. Surely suit ill spent and labor ill bestowed.
Why, what's the matter?
I came hither to tell you, and circumstances shortened, for she has been too long a talking of. The lady is disloyal.
Who, hero?
Even she, Leonato's hero, your hero, every man's hero.
Disloyal?
The word is too good to paint out her wickedness. I could say she were worse. Think you of a worse title, and I will fit her to it. Wonder not till further warrant. Go but with me tonight. You shall see her chamber window entered, even the night before her wedding day. If you love her then, tomorrow wed her. But it would better fit your honor to change your mind.
May this be so.
I will not think it.
If you dare not trust that you see, confess not that you know. If you will follow me, I will show you enough. And when you have heard more and seen more, proceed accordingly.
If I see anything tonight why I should not marry her, tomorrow in the congregation where I should wed, there will I shame her.
And as I wooed for thee to obtain her, there will I join with thee to disgrace her.
I will disparage her no further till you are my witnesses. Bear it coldly but till midnight, and let the issue show itself.
Oh, day untowardly turned.
Oh, mischief strangely thwarting.
Oh, plague right well prevented. So you will say when you have seen the sequel.
good men and true.
Nay, or else it were a pity, but they should suffer salvation, body and soul.
That were a punishment too good for them, if they should have any allegiance in them, being chosen for the prince's watch.
Well, give them their charge, neighbor Dogberry.
First, who think you the most disheartless man to be constable?
Hugo Pick, sir, or George Seacole, for they can write and read.
Come hither, neighbor Seacole. God hath blessed you with a good name. To be a well-favored man is the gift of fortune, but to write and read comes by nature.
Both which must, constable.
You have. I knew it would be your answer. Well, for your favor, sir, why, give God thanks and make no boast of it. And for your writing and reading, why, let that appear when there is no need of such vanity. You are thought here to be the most senseless and fit man for the constable of the watch. Therefore, bear you the lantern. Bear you the lantern. This is your charge. You're to comprehend all Vangram men. You're to bid any man stand in the prince's name.
Oh. Alfie will not stand.
Why then, take no note of him, but let him go, and presently call the rest of the watch together, and thank God you're rid of a knave.
If he will not stand when he is bidden, he is none of the prince's subjects.
True, and they are to meddle with none but the prince's subjects. You shall also make no noise in the streets, for the watch to babble and to talk is most tolerable and not to be endured.
We will rather sleep than talk. We know what belongs to a watch.
Why, you speak like an ancient and most quiet watchman, for I cannot see how sleeping should offend, only have a care that your bills be not stolen. Well, you're to call at all the alehouses, and bid those that are drunk get them to bed.
Alfie will not.
Why then, let them alone till they're sober. If they make you not then the better answer, you may say they are not the men you took them for.
Well, sir?
If you meet a thief, you may suspect him, by virtue of your office, to be no true man. And for such kind of men, the less you meddle or make with them, why, the more is for your honesty.
If we know him to be a thief, shall we not lay hands on him?
Why, truly by your office you may, but I think they that touch pitch will be defiled. The most peaceable way for you, if you do take a thief, is to let him show himself what he is, and steal out of your company.
If you hear a child cry in the night, you must call the nurse and bid her still it.
How then if the nurse be asleep and will not hear us?
Why then, depart in peace, and let the child wake her with crying. For the ewe that will not hear her lamb when it baws will never answer a calf when he bleats.
'Tis very true.
This is the end of the charge. You, constable, are to present the prince's own person. If you meet the prince in the night, you may stay him.
Our lady, I think he cannot.
5 shillings to 1 on it, with any man that knows the statutes. Marry, he may stay him, not without the prince be willing. For indeed, the watch ought to offend no man, and it is an offence to stay a man against his will.
Our lady, I think it be so.
Ha! Aha! Well, masters, good night. And there be any matter of weight chances, call upon me. Keep your fellows' counsels and your own, and good night. Come, neighbor.
Well, masters, we hear our charge. Let us sit upon the church bells to do till 2, then all to bed.
One more word, honest neighbors. I pray you keep a watch about Signor Leonato's door. For the wedding being there. Tomorrow, there's a great coil tonight. Adieu. Be vigilant, I beseech you.
a scab follow. I will owe thee an answer for that. Now forward with thy tale. Stand thee close then, under this penthouse, for it drizzles rain, and I will, like a true drunkard, utter all to thee.
Some treasons, masters, yet stand close.
Therefore, no, I have earned a Don John 8,000 ducats.
Is it possible that any villainy should be so dear?
Thou should rather ask if this were possible for any villainy to be so rich. For when rich villains have need of poor ones may make what price they will.
I wonder at it.
That shows thou art unconfirmed. For thou knowest that the fashion of a doublet or a hat or a cloak is nothing for man.
Yes, it is apparel.
I mean the fashion.
Yes, the fashion is the fashion.
I may as well say the fool's the fool. But seest thou not what a deformed thief this fashion is?
I know that's deformed. He's been a vile thief for 7 years. He goes up and down like a gentleman. I remember his name.
Didst thou not hear something?
No, 'twas the vein on the house.
Not so, neither. But know that tonight I have wooed Margaret, the waiting gentlewoman to Hero. She leads me out at her mistress's chamber window, bids me 1,000 times good night. I tell this tale vilely. I must first tell thee how the Prince, Claudio, and my master, planted and possessed and placed by my master Don John, saw far off in the orchard this amiable encounter.
And they thought Margaret was Hero.
2 of them did, the Prince and Claudio, but the devil my master knew she was Margaret, partly by his oaths which first possessed him, partly by the dark night which did deceive them, but chiefly by my villainy, which did confirm any slander that Don John had made. Away went Claudio enraged, swore he would meet her as he were appointed the next morning in the temple, and there, before the whole congregation, shame her with what he saw of a night, and send her home again without a husband.
We charge you in the prince's name. Stand. Call the right master.
We have here uncovered the most dangerous piece of lettering ever known in the Commonwealth.
And one deformed is one of them. I know him.
Masters.
We may bring deformed forth, I warrant you.
Masters, never speak we charge you. Let us obey you to come with us.
We are like to prove a goodly commodity, being taken up of these men's bills.
A commodity in question. I warrant you. Come, we'll obey you.
Wake my cousin Beatrice and desire her to rise.
I will, lady.
And bid her come hither. Well.
Troth, I think your other rabato were better.
No, pray thee, good Meg, I'll wear this.
By my troth, it's not so good, and I warrant your cousin will say so.
Oh, my cousin's a fool and thou art another. I'll wear none but this. Oh, sorry.
I like the new tire within excellently, and your gown's a most rare fashion in fate. I saw the Duchess of Milan's gown they praise so.
Oh, that exceeds, they say.
By my troth, it's but a nightgown in comparison of yours. Cloth of gold and cuts and laced with silver, set with pearls, down sleeves, side sleeves, and skirts round underborne with a bluish tinsel. But for fine, quaint, graceful, and excellent fashion, yours is worth 10 on it.
God give me joy to wear it, for my heart is exceeding heavy. Oh, my lady Beatrice, here she comes. Good morrow, coz.
Good morrow, sweet Hero.
Why, how now? Speak you in the sick tune?
I've out of all other tune, methinks.
Collapse into light of love. That goes without a burden. Do you sing and I'll dance it?
'Tis almost 5 o'clock, cousin. 'Tis time you were ready. By my troth, I'm exceeding ill, hey-ho.
For a hawk, a horse, or a husband?
For the letter that begins of all, H.
Well, and you be not turned Turk, there's no more sailing by the star.
What needs the fool, trow?
Nothing I, but God send everyone their heart's desire.
These gloves the Count sent me, they are an excellent perfume.
I am stuffed, cousin, I cannot smell. By my troth, I am sick.
Get you some of this distilled Carduus Benedictus and lay it to your heart. It is the only thing for a qualm.
There thou prick'st her with a thistle.
Benedictus? Why Benedictus? You have some moral in this Benedictus?
Moral? No. By my troth, I have no moral meaning. I meant plain holy thistle. You may think, perchance, that I think you are in love. Nay, by Our Lady, I am not such a fool to think what I list, nor I list not to think what I can, nor I cannot think, if I would think my heart out of thinking, that you are in love, or that you will be in love, or that you can be in love. Yet Benedict was such another, and now he is become a man. He swore he would never marry, and yet now, in despite of his heart, he eats his meat without grudging. And how you may be converted, I know not, but methinks you look with your eyes as other women do.
What pace is this that thy tongue keeps?
Not a false count. Madam, withdraw! The Prince to Count Senior Benedict, Don John, and all the gowns of the town are come to fetch you to church.
Oh, help to just me, good cause, good Meg, good Ursula.
What would you with me, honest neighbor?
Marry, sir, I would have some confidence that discerns you nearly.
Brief, I pray, for you see it's a busy time with me.
Marry, this it is, sir.
Yes, in truth, it is, sir.
What is it, my good friend?
Goodman Burgess, sir, speaks a little off the matter. An old man, and his wits are not so blunt as, God help, I would desire they were, but in faith, honest as the skin between his brows.
Yes, I thank God I am as honest as any man living that is an old man, and no honester than I.
Comparisons are odorous. Palaveras, neighbor Burgess.
Neighbors, you are tedious.
It pleases your worship to say so, but we are the poor duke's officers. Nay, for my part, if I were as tedious as a king, I would find it in my heart to bestow it all of your worship.
All thy tediousness on me, eh?
Yea, and 'twere 20,000 pound more than 'tis. For I hear such great exclamation on your worship as of any man in the city, and though I be but a poor man, I am glad to hear it.
As am I.
I would fain know what you have to say.
Very, sir, I watch tonight, except in your worship's presence, attend a couple of days as any in Messina.
An old man, sir, he will be talking. As they say, when the age is in, the witch is out. God help us, it's a world to see. Well said, if faith, good neighbor. Well, God's a good man, and two men ride of a horse, one must ride behind. An honest soul, if faith, sir, by my troth he is, as ever broke bread. But God is to be worshipped, all men are not alike, alas, good neighbor.
Indeed, neighbor, he comes too short of you.
Gifts that God gives.
I must leave you.
In one word, sir, all watch, sir, have indeed comprehended two auspicious persons, and we would have them this morning examined before your worship.
Take their examination yourself, and bring it me. I am now in great haste, as may appear unto you.
It shall be sufficient.
Drink some wine ere you go. Fare thee well.
My lord, they stay for you to give your daughter to her husband.
I will wait upon them. I am ready.
Go, good partner, go. Get you to Francis Seacole. Bid him bring his pen and inkhorn to the jail. We are now to examination these men.
And we must do it wisely.
Yea, we will spare for no wit, I warrant you. Here's that shall drive some of them to a non-come. Only get you to the learned writer, get him to set down our excommunication, and meet me at the jail.
Francis. Be brief only to the plain form of marriage, and you may recount their particular duties afterwards.
You come hither, Lord, to be married to this lady?
No.
To be married to her. Friar, you come to marry her.
Lady, you come hither to be married to this count?
I do.
If either of you know any inward impediment why you should not be conjoined, I charge you on yourselves to utter.
Know you any hero?
None, my lord.
Know you any count?
I dare make his answer, but none.
Oh, what's men may do, what's men daily do, what men dare do, not knowing what they do. How now, interjections. Friar, stand thee by. Father, with your leave, will you give me with free and unconstrained soul this maid, your daughter?
As freely, son, as God did give me her.
And what have I to give you back, whose worth may counterpoise this rich and precious gift?
Nothing, unless you render her up again.
Prince, you learn me noble thankfulness. Now, Leonato, take her back again. Give not this rotten orange to your friend. She's but the sign and semblance of her honor. Behold, like how a maid she blushes here. Oh, what authority and show of truth can cunning sin cover itself withal? 'Cause not its blood is modest evidence to witness simple virtue? Would you not spare all you that see her, that she were made by these exterior shows? But she is none. She knows the heat of a luxurious bed. Her blush is guiltiness, not modesty.
What do you mean, my lord?
Not to be married! Not to knit my soul to an approved wanton.
Dear my lord, if you in your own proof have vanquished the resistance of her youth and made defeat of her virginity.
I know what you would say. If I have known her, you would say she did embrace me as a husband, and so extenuate the forehand sin. No, Leonato, I never tempted her with word too large, but as a brother to his sister, show bashful sincerity and comely love.
And seemed I ever otherwise to you?
Out on thee seeming. You seem to me as Dian in her orb, as chaste as is the bud ere it is blown. But you are more temperate in your blood than Venus, or those pampered animals that rage in savage sensuality.
Is my lord well that he doth speak so wise?
Sweet prince, why speak not you?
What should I speak? I stand dishonored that have gone about to link my friend to a common stare.
Are these things spoken, or do I but dream?
Sir, they are spoken, and these things are true.
This looks not like a nuptial.
True.
Leonato, stand I here? Is this the prince? Is this the prince's brother? Is this face hero's? Are our eyes our own?
All this is so, but what of this, my lord?
Let me but move one question to your daughter, and with that kindly and fatherly power you have in her, bid her answer truly.
I charge thee do so, as thou art my child.
Oh God, defend me! How am I beset? What kind of catechizing call you this?
To make you answer truly to your name.
Is it not Hero? Who can blot that name with any just reproach?
Mary, that can Hero! Hero itself can blot out Hero's virtue. What man was he that talked with you at your chamber window betwixt 12 and 1? Now if you are a maid, answer to this.
I talked with no man at that hour, my lord.
Why then you are no maiden. Leonato, I am sorry must hear, but upon mine honor, my brother, this most grieved count, did see her, hear her at that hour, talk with a ruffian at her chamber window, who like a most liberal villain hath confessed the vile encounters they have had 1,000 times in secret.
Fie, they are not to be named, my lord, not to be spoken of. There is not chastity enough in language without offense to utter them. Thus, pretty lady, I am sorry for thy much misgovernment.
Oh, hero, what a hero wouldst thou have been if half thy outward graces would have been placed among the thoughts and counsels of thy heart. But fare thee well, most foul, most fair. Farewell, thou pure in piety and in pious purity. For thee I'll lock up all the gates of love, and on my eyelids shall conjecture hang, to turn all thoughts of beauty into thoughts of harm, and never shall it more be great.
Hath no man's dagger here a point for me?
Come, let us go. These things come thus to light.
My lord!
How doth the lady?
Dead, I think. How now, cousin Harry? Help uncle,
Oh,
friar.
Take out away thy heavy hand. Death is the fairest cover for her shames that may be wished for.
How now, cousin Hero? Have comfort, lady.
Dost thou look up?
Yea, wherefore should she not?
Wherefore? What doth not every earthly thing cry shame upon her? Could she here deny the story that is printed in her blood? Do not live, hero, do not ope thine eyes, for did I think thou wouldst not quickly die, thought I thy spirit stronger than thy shames. Myself would on the rearward of reproaches strike at thy life. Grieved I had but one, chide I for that at frugal nature's frame. Oh, one too much by thee, why ever wast thou lovely in mine eyes? She is fallen into a pit of ink, that the wide sea hath drops too few to wash her clean again, and salt too little, which may seize and give to her foul tainted flesh.
Sir, be patient. For my part, I am so attired in wonder, I know not what to say.
Oh, my soul, my cousin is blind.
Lady, were you her bedfellow last night?
No, truly not. Although until this last night, I have this 12 months been her bedfellow.
Confirmed! Oh, that is stronger made, which was before barred up with ribs of iron. Would the two princes lie, and Claudio lie, who loved her so that speaking of her foulness, washed it with tears? Oh, hence from her, let her die!
Hear me a little, for I have only been silent so long, and given way unto this course of fortune by noting of the lady. I've marked 1,000 blushing apparitions to start into her face, 1,000 innocent shames and angel whiteness beat away those blushes. And in her eye there hath appeared a fire to burn away the errors that these princes hold against her maiden truth. Call me a fool. Trust not my reading, nor my observation, which with experimental seal doth warrant the tenor of my book. Trust not my age, my reverence, calling, nor divinity, if this sweet lady lie not guiltless here under some biting error.
Friar, it cannot be. Thou seest that all the grace she hath left is that she will not add to her damnation a sin of perjury. She not denies it. Wherefore seekest thou to cover with excuse that which appears in proper nakedness?
Lady, what man is he that you are accused of?
They know that do accuse me. I know none. If I know more of any man than maiden modesty doth warrant, let all my sins lack mercy. O my father, prove you that any man with me conversed yesternight, or that I at hours of me can maintain the change of words with any living creature. Refuse me, hate me, torture me to death.
There's some strange misprison in the princes.
2 of them have the very bent of honor, and if their wisdoms be misled in this, the practice of it lives in Don John, whose spirits toil in frame of villainies.
I know not. If they speak but truth of her, his hands shall tear her. But if they wrong her honor, the proudest of them shall well hear of it. Time hath not yet so dried this blood of mine, nor age so eat up my invention, nor my bad life reft me so much of friends, nor fortune made such havoc of my needs. But they shall find, awaked in such a kind, both strength of limb and policy of mind, ability of means and choice of friends, to quit me of them thoroughly.
Pause a while, and let my counsel sway you in this case. Your daughter, the princess left for dead, let her while be secretly kept in, and publish it that she is dead indeed. Maintain a mournful ostentation, and your rights that Maintain a mournful ostentation, and on your family's old monument hang a mournful epitaph, and your rights that appertain unto a burial.
What shall become of this? What will this do?
Marry, this will carry on her behalf, change slander to remorse. This is some good. But not on that dream I on this strange course, but on this travail look for greater birth. She, dying as it must be so maintained, upon the instant that she was accused, shall be lamented, pitied, and excused if ever here. So will it fare with Claudio, when he shall hear she died upon his words. The idea of her life shall sweetly creep into a study of imagination, and every lovely organ of her life shall come apparelled in more precious habit, more moving, delicate, and full of life than when she lived indeed. Then shall he mourn, and wish he had not, if ever love had interest in his liver, and wish he had not so accused her. No, though he thought his accusations true. Let this be so, and doubt not but success will fashion the event in better shape than I can lay it down in likelihood. And if it fare not well, you may conceal her, as best befits her wounded reputation, in some reclusive and religious life, out of all eyes, tongues, minds, and injuries.
Signor Leonato, let the friar advise you. For though you know my inwardness and love is very much unto the prince and Claudio, yet by mine honor I will deal in this, as secretly and justly as your soul should with your body.
Being that I flow with grief, the smallest twine may lead me.
'Tis well consented. Presently away, for to strange sores strangely they strain the cure. Come, lady, die to live. This wedding day is perhaps but prolonged. Have patience and endure.
Lady Beatrice, have you wept all this while?
Yea, and I will weep a while longer.
I will not desire that.
You have no reason, I do it freely.
Surely I do believe your fair cousin is wronged.
Ah, how much might the man deserve of me that would right her?
Is there any way to show such friendship?
A very even way, but no such friend.
May a man do it?
It is a man's office, but not yours.
I do love nothing in the world so well as you. Is not that strange?
This strangest thing I know not. It was possible for me to say I love nothing so well as you, but yet believe me not, and yet I lie not. I confess nothing, or I deny nothing. I'm sorry for my cousin.
By my sword, Beatrice, thou lovest me.
Do not swear and eat it.
I will swear by it that you love me, and I will make him eat it that says I love not you.
Will you not eat your word?
With no sauce that can be devised to it. I protest I love thee.
Why then God forgive me.
What offense, sweet Beatrice?
You have stayed me in a happy hour. I was about to protest I loved you.
And do it with all thy heart.
I love you with so much of my heart that none is left to protest.
Come, bid me do anything for thee.
Kill Claudio.
Not for the wide world.
You kill me to deny it. Farewell.
Tarry, good Beatrice.
I am gone, though I am here. There is no love in you, Nan. Pray you let me go.
Beatrice.
In faith, I will go.
We'll be friends first.
You dare easier be friends with me than fight with mine enemy?
Is Claudio thine enemy?
Is he not approved and the height a villain that hath slandered, scorned, dishonored my kinswoman? Oh, that are a man. What, bare hand until they come to take hands, and then with public accusation, uncovered slander, unmitigated rancor. Oh God, that are a man! I would eat his heart in the marketplace!
Hear me, Beatrice.
Open the man on your window, God or say.
Nay, but
Here she is wrong, she is slandered, she is undone.
Beatrice.
Mrs. and County is surely a princely testimony, a goodly count, Count Confect, a sweet gallant surely. Oh, that I were a man for his sake. Or that I had any friend that would be a man for my sake. But manhood is melted into curtsies, valor into compliment, and men are only turned into tongue, and true ones too. He is now as valiant as Hercules that only tells a lie and swears it. I cannot be a man with wishing, therefore I will die a woman with grieving.
Tarry, good Beatrice, by this hand I love thee.
Use it for my love some other way than swearing by it.
Think you in your soul the Count Claudio hath wronged Hera?
Yea, as sure as I have a thought of her soul.
Enough, I am engaged. I will challenge him. I will kiss your hand, and so I leave you. By this hand, Claudio shall render me a dear account. As you hear of me, so think of me. Go comfort your cousin. I must say she is dead. And so farewell.
Is our whole assembly appeared?
Oh, a stool and a cushion for the sexton.
Which be the malefactor?
Marry, that am I, and my partner.
Nay, that's certain. We have the exhibition to examine.
But which are the offenders that are to be examined? Let them come before Master Constable.
Yea, Mary, let them come before me. What is your name, friend?
Borachio.
Pray, write down Borachio. Yours, Sirrah?
I am a gentleman, sir. My name is Conrad.
Pray, write down Master Gentleman Conrad. Masters, do you serve God?
Yea, sir, we hope.
Write down that they hope they serve God, and write God first. For God defend, but God should go before such villains. Masters, it is proved already that you are little better than false knaves. How answer you for yourselves?
Marry, sir, we say we are none.
Oh, a marvelous, witty fellow, I assure you. But I will go about with him. Come you hither, Sirrah, a word in your ear. Sir, I say to you, it is thought you are false knaves.
Sir, I say to you, we are none.
Well, stand aside, for God. They are both in a tale. Have you ever done that they are none?
Master Constable, you go not the way to examine. You must call forth the watch that are their accusers.
Yea, marry, that's the this way. Let the watch come forth. Masters, I charge you in the prince's name. Accuse these men.
This man said, sir, that Don John, the prince's brother, is a villain.
Write down Prince John a villain. Why, this is flat perjury. To call a prince's brother villain?
Master Constable,
I
surely.
pray thee, fellow, peace. I do not like thy look, I promise thee.
What heard you him say else?
Marry, that Ian received 1,000 ducats of Don John for accusing the Lady Hero wrongfully.
Flat burglary as ever was committed.
Yea, thy mass, that is.
What else, fellow?
And that Count Claudio did me, upon his word, to disgrace Hero before the whole assembly, and not to marry him.
Oh, villain! Thou'lt be condemned into everlasting redemption for this.
What else?
This is all.
And this is more, masters, than you can deny. Prince John is this morning secretly stolen away. Hero was in this manner accused, in this very manner refused, and upon the grief of this suddenly died. Master Constable, let these men be bound and brought to Leonatos. I will go before and show him their examination.
God, let them be opinion.
Let them be in the
Off, Constable!
God's my life. Where's the sexton? Let him write down the prince's officer, coxcomb. Come, bind them. Thou naughty varlet!
Away! You are a buffoon! You are a buffoon!
Dost thou not suspect my place? Dost thou not suspect my years? Oh, that he were here to write me down a buffoon. But masters, forget not that I am a buffoon. Nay, remember that I am a buffoon. Oh, thou villain, thou art full of piety, as shall be proved upon thee by good witness. I am a wise fellow, and which is more, an officer, and which is more, a householder, and as pretty a piece of flesh as any in Messina, and one that knows the law. Go to. And a rich fellow enough. Go to. And a fellow that hath had losses, and one that hath 2 gowns and everything handsome about him. Bring them away. Oh, that I had been written down a buffoon.
No, Antonia!
If you go on thus, you will kill yourself, and it is not wisdom thus to second grief against yourself.
Give not me counsel, nor let no comforter delight mine ear, except such a one whose wrongs do suit with mine. Bring me a father that so loved his child, whose joy of her is overwhelmed like mine, and bid him speak of patience. Measure his woe the length and breadth of mine. Let it answer every strain for strain, as thus for thus, and such a grief for such, in every lineament, branch, shape, and form. If such a one will smile, stroke his beard, bid sorrow wag, cry when he should groan, patch grief with proverbs, make misfortune drunk with candle wasters, bring him yet to me, and I of him will gather patience. But there is no such man. For, sister, men can counsel and speak to that sorrow which they themselves not feel, but tasting it, their counsel turns to passion, which before would give perceptual medicine to rage, fetter strong madness with a silken thread, shall ache with air and agony with words. No, 'tis all men's office to speak patience to those that ring under the load of sorrow, but no man's virtue nor sufficiency to be so moral when he shall endure the like himself. Therefore give me no counsel. My griefs cry louder than advertisement.
Therein do men from children nothing differ.
Pray thee peace. I will be flesh and blood. There was never yet philosopher that could endure the toothache patiently, however they with the style of gods and made a push of chance and sufferance.
Yet bid not all the harm upon yourself. Make those that do offend you suffer too.
There, thou speakest reason. Nay, I will do so. My soul doth tell me Hero is belied, that shall Claudio know, so shall the prince, and all of them that thus dishonor her.
Here comes the prince and Claudio hastily.
Good evening, good evening.
Good day to both of you.
Hear you, my lords.
We are in some haste, Leonato.
Some haste, my lord. Well, fare you well. Are you so hasty now?
Nay.
Well, all is one.
Nay, do not quarrel with us, good old man.
If he could right himself with quarreling, some of us would lie low.
Who wrongs him?
Marry, thou dost wrong me, thou dissembler, thou, nay? Never lay thy hand upon thy sword. I fear thee not.
Beshrew my hand, if it should give your age such a cause of fear. My hand meant nothing to my sword.
Tush, tush, man. Never fleer and jest at me. I speak not like a daughter nor a fool, as under privilege of age to brag what I have done being young, or what I would do were I not old. No, Claudio, to thy head, thou hast so wronged mine innocent child in me, I am forced to lay my reverence by, and with grey hairs and bruise of many days, to challenge thee to trial of a man. I say thou hast belied my innocent child. Thy slander has gone through and through her heart, and she lies buried with the tomb of her ancestors. Oh, in a tomb where never scandal slept, save this of hers, framed by thy villainy.
My villainy?
Thine, Claudio, thine, I say.
You say not right, old man.
My lord, I'll prove it on his body if he dare. Despite his nice fence, his active practice, his May of youth and bloom of lustihood.
Away! I will not have to do with you.
Canst thou so daff me? Thou hast killed my child. If thou killst me, boy, thou shalt kill a man.
Yourself! God knows I love my niece and she is dead. Slandered to death by villains that dare as well answer a man indeed. Boys, apes, braggart jacks, milk.
Antonia!
Hold you content. What man I know them yea, and what they weigh, even to the utmost scruple. Scambling, outfacing, fashion-mogging boys that lie, cog, deflout, enslave, and slander. Go antically away and show outward hideousness, and speak off half a dozen dangerous words, how they might hurt their enemies if they durst. Do not you meddle.
Leonato, we'll not wake your patience. My heart is sorry for your daughter's death, but upon mine honor she was charged with nothing but that which was true and very full of proof.
My lord, my lord!
I will not hear you.
No? Come, sister, away. I will be heard. I will be heard!
And shall, or some of us will smart for it.
See, here comes the man we came to seek.
Now, senor, what news?
Good day, my lord.
Welcome, Signor. You almost come to part, almost afraid.
We had like to have had our two noses snapped off by an old man without teeth.
Leonato, what thinkest thou? Had we fought, I doubt we should have been too young for him.
In a false quarrel there is no true valor. I came to seek you both.
We have been up and down to seek thee, for we are high proof melancholy, and would fain have it beaten away. Wilt thou use thy wit?
It is in my scabbard. Shall I draw it?
Dost thou wear thy wit by thy side?
Never any did so, though many a man hath been beside their wit. I pray thee draw as we do the minstrels, draw to pleasure us.
As I am an honest man, he looks pale. Art thou angry or sick?
What courage, man, no care killed a cat. Thou hast metal enough in thee to kill care.
Sir, I shall meet your wit in the career, and you charge it against me. I pray you, choose another subject.
Give him another staff. This last one was broke cross.
By this light he changeth more and more. I think he be angry indeed.
If he be, he knows how to turn his girdle.
Sir, shall I speak a word in your ear?
God bless me from a challenge.
You are a villain. I jest not. I will make it good how you dare, with what you dare, and when you dare. Do me right, or I will protest your cowardice. You have killed a sweet lady, and her death shall fall heavy on you. Let me hear from you.
Well, I will meet you, that I might have good cheer.
What? A feast? A feast?
In faith, I thank him. He hath bid me to a calf's head and a capon, the which if I carve not most curiously, say my knife's not. Shall I not find a woodcock too?
Sir, your wit ambles well. It goes easily.
I'll tell thee how Beatrice praised thy wit the other day. I said thou hadst a fine wit. True, said she, a fine little one. Nay, said I, a great wit. Right, said she, a great gross one. Nay, said I, a good wit. Just, said she, it hurts nobody. Nay, said I, the gentleman is wise. Certain, said she, a wise gentleman. Nay, said I, he hath the tongues. That I believe, said she, for he swore a thing to me on Monday night, which he forswore to me on Tuesday morning. There's a double tongue, there's two tongues. Thus did she an hour together transshape thy particular virtues.
And for the which she wept heartily, and said she cared not.
Yea, and that she did. And yet if she did not hate him deadly, she would love him dearly. The old man's daughter told us all.
All. And God saw him when he was hid in the garden.
But when shall we set the savage bull's horns in the sensible Benedict's head?
Aye, in the text underneath, here dwells Benedict, the married man.
Fare you well, boy. You know my mind. I will leave you now to your gossip-like humor. You break jests as braggarts do their blades, which, God be thanked, hurt not. My lord, for your many courtesies I thank you. I must discontinue your company. Your brother, Don John, is fled from Messina. You have among you killed a sweet and innocent lady. For my lord Blackbeard there, he and I shall meet. Until then, peace be with him.
I think he be in earnest.
In most profound earnest, and I warrant you for the love of Beatrice.
And hath challenged thee.
Most sincerely.
But soft you, let me be. Pluck up my heart and be sad. Did he not say that my brother was fled?
Come you, sir. If justice shall not take you, she shall now weigh more reasons in her balance. Nay, and you be a cursing hypocrite once, you must be looked to.
How now, two of my brother's men bound, Borachio one?
Hearken after their offense, my lord.
Officers, what offense have these men done?
Marry, sir, they have committed false report. Moreover, they have spoken untruths. Secondarily, they are slanderers. Sixth and lastly, they have belied a lady. Thirdly, they have verified unjust things. And to conclude, they are lying knaves.
First I ask thee, what have they done? Thirdly, I ask thee, what's their offense? Sixth and lastly, why they are committed? And to conclude, what you lay to their charge.
Well said, and in his own division. And by my troth, there's one meaning well suited.
Masters, why are you thus bound to your answer? This learned constable is too cunning to be understood.
Sweet prince, let me go no farther to mine answer. Do you hear me, and let this count kill me? What your wisdoms could not discover, these shallow fools have brought to light. Who in the night overheard me confessing to this man how Don John, your brother,
incensed me to slander the lady Hero. How you were brought her to the orchard and saw me court Margaret in Hero's garments. How you disgraced her when you should marry her. My villainy they have upon record, which I had rather seal with my death than repeat over to my shame. The lady is dead upon mine and my master's false accusations. And briefly, I desire nothing but the reward of a villain.
Runs not this speech like iron through your blood?
I have drunk poison while he uttered it.
But did my brother set thee on this?
Yea, paid me richly for the practice of it.
He is composed and framed of treachery, and fled he is upon this villainy.
Oh, sweet Hero, now thy image doth appear in the rare semblance that I loved it first.
Come, bring away the plaintiffs. By this time our sexton hath reformed Signor Leonato of the matter. And masters, do not forget to specify, when time and place shall serve, that I am a buffoon.
Look, here goes Master Signor Leonato and the sexton too.
Which is the villain? Let me see his eyes. That's when I know to another man like him I may avoid him. Which of these is he?
If you would know your wronger, look on me.
Art thou the slave that with thy breath hast killed mine innocent child?
Yea, even I alone.
Nay, not so, villain. Thou beliest thyself. Here stand a pair of honourable men. A third is fled that had a hand in it. I thank you, princes, for my daughter's death. 'Twas bravely done, if you bethink you of it. Record it with your high and worthy deeds.
I know not how to pray your patience, and I must speak. Choose your revenge yourself. Impose on me what penance your invention can lay upon my sin. Yet I sin not but in mistaking.
Yea, nor I, but to satisfy this good old man, I will bend under any heavy weight to which he'll enjoin me to.
I cannot bid you bid my daughter live. That were impossible. But I pray you, possess the people in Messina here how innocent she died. And if your love can labour aught in sad invention, hang her an epitaph upon her tomb. Read it to her bones. Read it tonight. Tomorrow then, come you to my house, and since you could not be my son-in-law, be yet my nephew. My sister hath a daughter almost a copy of my child that's dead. She alone is now heir to us both. Give her the right you should have given her cousin, and so dies my revenge.
Your overkindness doth wring tears from me. I thereby dispense of poor Claudio, and humbly accept your offer.
Tomorrow then we shall expect your coming. Tonight I take my leave. This naughty man shall face to face be brought to Margaret, who I believe was packed in all this wrong, hired to it by your brother.
No, by my soul she was not, nor knew not what she did when I spoke to her, but hath been just and virtuous in anything I do know by her.
Moreover, sir, which indeed is not under white and black, this plaintiff here, the offender, did call me buffoon. I beseech you, let it be remembered in his punishment. And also, the watch heard them talk of one deformed. They say he wears a key in his ear, and a lock hanging by it, and borrows money in God's name, the which he hath used so long and never paid, that now men grow hard-hearted, and will lend nothing for God's sake. Examine him upon that point, I pray you.
I thank thee for thy care and honest pains.
Your worship speaks like a most thankful and reverent youth, and I praise God for you.
Here is for thy pains.
God save the foundation.
Go, I discharge thee of thy prisoners, and thank thee.
I leave an errant name with your worship, which I beseech your worship to correct yourself for the example of others. God keep your worship. I wish your worship well. God restore thee to health. I humbly give you leave to depart. And if a merry meeting may be wished, God prohibit it. Come, may you go.
Until tomorrow morning, lords, farewell.
Farewell, my lord. We look for you tomorrow.
We will not fail you.
Tonight I'll mourn with Hero.
We bring you these fellows on. We'll talk with Margaret, how her acquaintance grew with this lewd fellow.
Pray thee, sweet Mistress Margaret, deserve well at my hands by helping me to the speech of Beatrice.
Will you then write me a sonnet in praise of my beauty?
In so high a style, Margaret, that no man living shall come over it, for in most comely truth thou deservest it.
To have no man come over me, why? Shall I always keep below stairs?
Thy wit is as quick as the greyhound's mouth it catches.
And yours as blunt as the fencer's foils, which hit but hurt not.
A most manly wit, Margaret, it will not hurt a woman. And so I pray thee, call Beatrice.
Well, I will call Beatrice to you, who I think hath legs.
And therefore will come. The God of love that sits above and knows me, how pitiful I deserve. I mean in singing, but in loving, Leander, the good swimmer, Troilus, the first employer of panders, why they were never so truly turned over and over as my poor self in love. Mary, I cannot show it in rhyme. I have tried. I can find out no rhyme to lady, but baby. An innocent rhyme for scorn, horn. A hard rhyme for school, fool. A babbling rhyme, very ominous endings. No, I was not born under a rhyming planet, nor I cannot woo in festival terms. Sweet Beatrice, wouldst thou come when I called thee?
Yea, signor, and depart when you bid me.
Oh, stay but till then.
Then is spoken, fare you well now. And yet, ere I go, let me go with that I came, which is with knowing what hath passed between you and Claudio.
Only foul words, and thereupon I will kiss thee.
Foul words is but foul wind, and foul wind is but foul breath, and foul breath is noisome, therefore I will depart unkissed.
Thou hast frighted the word out of its right sense, so forcible is thy wit. But I must tell thee plainly, Claudio undergoes my challenge, and either I must shortly hear from him, or I will subscribe him a coward. And so I pray thee, for which of my bad parts didst thou first fall in love with me?
For them altogether, which maintain so politic a state of evil that they would not admit any good part to intermingle with them. But for which of my good parts did you first suffer love for me?
Suffer love, it's a good epithet. I do suffer love indeed, for I love thee against my will.
In spite of your heart, I think. Alas, poor heart, if you spite it for my sake, I will spite it for yours, for I will never love that which my friend hates.
Thou and I are too wise to woo peaceably.
It appears not in this confession there's not one wise man among 20 that'll praise himself.
An old instance, Beatrice, that lived in the time of good neighbors. But now tell me, how doth your cousin?
Very ill.
And how do you?
Very ill, too.
Serve God, love me and men. There must I leave you too, for here comes one in haste.
Madam, you must come to your uncle. Yonder's old Clara is at home. It has been proved my lady hero has been falsely accused, the prince and Claudio mightily abused, and Don John is the author of all, who is fled and gone. Will you come presently?
Will you go hear this news, signor?
I will live in thy heart, die in thy lap, and be buried in thy eyes. And, moreover, I will go with thee to thy uncle's.
Is this the monument of Leonato?
It is, my lord.
done to death by slanderous tongues, was the hero that here lies. Death and guerdon of her wrongs gives her fame which never dies. So the life that died with shame lives in death with glorious fame. Hang thou there upon this tomb, praising her when I am dumb. Now unto thy bones good night. Yearly will I do this right.
Good morrow, masters. Put your torches out. The wolves have preyed, and look, gentle day before the wheels of Phoebus round about dapples the drowsy east with spots of grey. Thanks to you all, and fare you well.
Good morrow, masters, each his several way.
Come, let us hence and put on other weeds, and then to Leonato's shall we go.
And Hymen now with luckier issue speed than this, for whom we rendered up this woe.
Did I not tell you she was innocent?
So were the Prince and Claudio, who accused her upon that error you heard yourself debated. But Margaret was at some fault for this, though against her will, as it appears in the true cause of all the question.
Well, I'm glad that all things sort so well.
And so am I, being else by faith enforced to call young Claudio to a reckoning for it.
Well, daughter and gentlemen all, withdraw into a chamber by yourselves, and when I send for you, come hither masked. The Prince and Claudio promised this hour to visit me. Well, sister, you know your office. You must be mother to your brother's daughter, and give her to young Claudio.
Which I will do with confirmed countenance.
Friar, I must entreat your pains, I think.
To do what, senor?
To bind me, or undo me, one of them. Signor Leonato, truth it is, good signor, your niece regards me with an eye of favor.
That I, my daughter, lent her, 'tis most true.
And I do with an eye of love requite her.
The sight whereof I think you had from me, from the Prince and Claudio. But what's your will?
Your answer, sir, is enigmatical, but for my will is your good will may stand with ours. This day to be conjoined in the state of honorable marriage, in which, good friar, I shall desire your help.
My heart is with your liking.
And my help. Here come the Prince and Claudio.
Good morrow to this fair assembly.
Good morrow, Prince, good morrow, Claudio. Are you yet determined today to marry with my sister's daughter?
I'll hold my mind.
Bid her forth, sister. Here's the friar ready.
Good morrow, Benedict. Why, what's the matter that thou hast such a February face, so full of frost and storm and cloudiness?
I think he thinks upon the savage bull. Tush, tush, fear not, man. We'll tip thy horns in gold, and all Europa shall rejoice at thee, once they did at lusty Jove, when he would play the noble beast in love.
Bull Jove, sir, had an amiable low, and some such strange bull leapt your father's cow, and got a calf in that same noble feat, much like to you, for you have just his bleat.
For this I owe you. Here come the other reckonings. Which is the lady I must seize upon?
This same is she, and I to give you her.
Sweet, let me see thy face.
No, that shall you not, till you take her hand before this friar, and swear today to be married to her.
Then give me your hand before this holy friar. Sweet lady, I am yours if you like of me.
And when I lived, I was your other wife, and when you loved, you were my other husband.
Another hero?
Nothing certain. One hero died defiled, but I do live, and as surely as I live, I am a maid.
The former hero, the hero that is dead?
She died, my lord, but whilst her slander lived.
All this amazement cannot qualify. When hereafter the holy rites are ended, I'll tell you largely the affair of his death. Meantime, let wonder seem familiar. And to the chapel let us pray.
A soft and fair friar. Which is Beatrice?
I answer to that name. What is your will?
Oh, do not you love me?
Why, no. No more than reason.
Why then, your uncle and the prince and Claudio have been deceived. They did swear you did.
Do not you love me?
A troth, no more than reason.
Why then my cousin Margaret and Ursula are much deceived, for they did swear you did.
They swore that you were almost sick for me.
They swore that you were well nigh dead for me.
It is no such matter, then you do not love me.
No, truly, but in friendly recompense.
All right.
Come, cousin, I'm sure you love the gentleman.
And I'll swear to it that he loves her. For here is a picture
No.
of his own hand.
And here's another written by cousin. Returning your affection to Benedict.
A miracle! Here's our own hands against our hearts. Come, I will have thee, but by this light I take thee for pity.
I will not deny you, but by this good day I yield upon great persuasion, and partly to save your life, for I was told you were in a consumption.
Peace, I will stop your mouth.
How dost thou, Benedict, the married man?
I'll tell thee what, Prince. A college of wit crackers cannot flout me out of my humor. Dost thou think I care for a satire or an epigram? No. If a man will be beaten with brains, he shall wear nothing handsome about him. In brief, since I do purpose to marry, I will think nothing to any purpose that the world can say against it, and therefore never flout at me for what I have said against it. For man is a giddy thing, and this is my conclusion. For thy part, Claudio, I did think to have beaten thee, but in thou art like to be my kinsman, live unbruised, and love my cousin.
I would thee have denied Beatrice, that I might have cudgelled thee out of thy single life to make thee a double dealer. For so I doubt thou wilt be if my cousin will not look exceedingly narrowly to thee.
Come, we are friends. Let's have a dance ere we are married, that we may lighten our own hearts and our wives' heels.
We'll have dancing afterwards.
First, of my word. Therefore, play music. Hold. Prince, thou art sad. Get thee a wife. Get thee a wife. There is no staff more reverend than one tipped with horn.
My lord, your brother John is ta'en in flight and brought with armed men back to Messina.
Yeah! Think not on him till tomorrow. I'll devise thee brave punishments for him. Strike up, pipers!
I'm her mother. I can tell her what to. Thank you. You made it. You made it, everybody. Good for. Who did we lose? I think there's some people. Anyways, I want to thank I want to thank all the parents that did so much. That was amazing. And I want to thank, in particular, Susan Newman, who did the costumes, and her puppet buddy, Audrey Russell. She's our new addition, so thank you so much. Okay, so you have something to say?
Yes. Thank you everyone so much for coming to Much Ado About Nothing. While all of us are on stage right now, there's still one person to thank, and that is my mother. This is Maria Beckley. Can you come on stage? Especially us old people. Ever since 7th grade, as a student, I can't be any more thankful for her, and as her daughter, I have been so blessed to have been surrounded by this amazing atmosphere of Shakespeare, my friends, and just a very great opportunity to act on stage. So thank you so much for coming. And now, cookies. All right. Thank you.
questo cielo, aspra e dura, spietata e gelo. Fuggi, fuggi, fuggi da questo cielo, aspra e dura, spietata e gelo. Tu chi tutti i prigioni alleghi, né per biondo di frongio preghi, fiera di rondo, gel dell'onno. Fuggi, fuggi, fuggi laddove verano, sui rebrini a Sergio eterno. Vien Verminio, tu del mondo sei maraviglio. Vieni, vieni, condire, vien Verminio, tu del mondo sei maraviglio. Tu nemico d'amare noia, d'anima geli gioia, messaggera per primavera. Tu sei dell'anno la giovinezza, tu del mondo sei la vaghezza.